Put your hands together for Gary Harper.
All right. Wow, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that very much. Let's have a seat. Let's jump in. Guys, I get the honor of coming and speaking to you guys every quarter, and when I get that honor, I don't take it lightly. It's very important to me. Today, I want to talk to you about purpose. You know, I'm known for business, got a couple books on it, but none of that matters if we don't get to the end and fulfill life's purpose. I want to talk to you about building with the end in mind. Purpose comes from somewhere. It comes from the past, the present, and the future. The past is what we love to do. The present is a gift we have that we can give back to the world. And the future is what do you want to be remembered for? The past, the present, the future. Those are the three ingredients to thrive to life's purpose. You know, when I go to the store and I want to build a puzzle, I always pick a puzzle based on what? The picture that's on the front of the box. I don't randomly walk into Target and just grab a puzzle, walk out, and go home and build it. I want to build the puzzle based on that picture. And I will choose that picture, go home, and then I will take those puzzle pieces out of that box. I will segregate those puzzle pieces by red, green, yellows, words, the sky, the grass, all those different things. And then I start to assemble the puzzle based on the picture. Guys, that's what life is. Life's a jigsaw puzzle, right? We want to make sure we put enough time into these different pieces to form the right picture so that we get to the end, there's no regret, and help fulfill purpose. How much time do you have left to identify and work on your puzzle pieces that will build your picture? I want you to grab your phones with me here, guys. We're going to interact a little bit. I want you to grab your phones. I want you to open your calculator. We're going to do a quick exercise. Here's the exercise. I want you to take your current age, 47, and I want you to minus off the expected death age that was produced last year, or published last year by the United Nations, 2023. 70.5 if you're a male, and 75.6 if you're a female. This is worldwide. This is a United States statistic. It's a worldwide statistic. And I want you to figure out how many days you have left. You take that difference and you times it by 365, and it'll tell you how many days you have left. How many in the room have more than 10,000 days left? Raise your hand. Put your hands down. How many of you have less than 10,000 days? I'll keep my hand up. It's a little bit perspective, isn't it? If you took $10,000 right now, would that seem like a lot of money? It would not. If you gave $1 away for the rest of your life, that's around where you'll be at when you die, if you live to these expected ages. But that's not guaranteed, is it? Guys, at 35 years old, as a corporate executive for a Fortune 500 company, I contracted Lyme disease. I want to back up a little bit. I want to talk to you guys. In 1995, I left my home in Virginia and moved to Northwest Indiana because I was a troubled youth. My parents asked me to leave. They asked me to go live with my sister in Northwest Indiana. My brother-in-law was in real estate, so I lived in houses in Gary and Hammond and helped him remodel them in 1995 to 1997. In 1997, I found my wife. We got married. I started a career in corporate executive, worked my way up to executive vice president, started buying and selling real estate by 2004. 2007 came along. I had hundreds of houses. By 2010, 11, I was pretty successful. Executive of the year, 8 out of 10 years. Doing great in real estate, and then all of a sudden, the bottom started to fall out. Lost all my real estate. Had to file bankruptcy that year. Lost my health. Got bit by a tick, came down with Lyme disease. Lost my savings. Everything's gone. Everything I built for to this point, what I deemed success was gone. And I sit in front of a doctor with my head in my hands and the tears running down my forearms. And he said, you have maybe 6 months left to live, because this disease had gotten in my brain. It had gotten in my heart. It was taking over my organs because where it bit me. I went back to a 5-year-old mental state. I had to step down from being a corporate executive. My wife had to bathe me in the morning. I had to get up every day. My kids had to watch me struggle to live. And I sat there with that doctor looking at me and going, oh, dear God, what did I do with my time? Did I focus on the right pieces? Did I get myself to the point that I wanted to leave this picture for everybody to remember me by? And the answer was no. I was successful in life, and what you call success in business, but life wasn't all there for me. Spent a lot of time away from my kids. Didn't focus on my health. Now, I lost a lot of weight by here because the disease had, but I had weighed over 300 pounds, and after the disease took hold, I went back to that. Obviously, I'm still here today. But man, I made a promise to God that day. I said, God, if you will give me my life back, I promise you I'll give it back to helping others and fulfilling my purpose the right way. And guys, I had asked this question, time, was it an asset or was it a liability? And at that moment, it was a liability. I didn't have much time left. And here's the thing, guys, this room's pretty big. There's some of us in here that won't hit that expected at death age. Some of us won't be here then. You are not guaranteed tomorrow. You better live life on purpose, because if you don't, someone else will write your eulogy speech. You won't have the pen in your hands. And today I want to give you the ingredients to make sure we do this the right way. You guys want to get together here? Do you want to rise up and do this the right way? Yeah. Then that's what we have to do. Guys, we do not get to the end of life wanting more money, more work, more success. We get to the end of life, and if we don't fulfill purpose, you will want more time. We have to protect the time we have. It is very much a gift. So we have to separate our jigsaw pieces into 5 categories of life. And then I want us to focus on 4 of those areas within those categories to make sure that we fulfill this life's purpose. This is what I did. I started with my health. I'm going to give you the step-by-step of how I did it. And guys, I want us to bond together. I want us to make a pledge together today. I want all of us to hold each other accountable to doing life right. Because if you make all the money in the world and buy all the houses in the world and as successful as the world thinks you are, it will die when you die, and the people close to you will feel like you didn't succeed. Life, health first. I had to have a plan. I needed metrics, I needed resources, and I needed accountability. I hired a company called The Starting Line, and they helped me create a vision plan. And we did. We looked at it, and we said, where are we at? I'd already lost 50 pounds, but I got stuck, 236, and I wanted to get down more. If you guys saw me years ago standing on this stage, I was well over 300 pounds. From that, we created the plan of nutrition. We created the plan of exercise. What do I need to do every day to get my health back? And guys, I had to have metrics. I needed to know what my numbers were. Not only my blood numbers, but I also needed to know what my heart rate was every day. I needed to know what my water intake was. I needed to know what my macros were in my health and my nutrition. I needed to know how I slept at night. I needed to know how my body was repairing through the night. And I started to track these things because numbers don't lie. They tell a story. Whether it's your business, it's your personal life, you need metrics. Then, I needed resources. Just like I do in business, I needed resources in my life and my health. I hired The Starting Line. I got an Oura ring to track my sleep. I got an Hydrate Spark water bottle in order to track my water intake. I bought an Apple Watch. I bought a glucose monitor that's still on my arm today to make sure that when I eat, I control what I eat and put it in my body. It's accountability, which is the next area. I needed accountability. What did that look like? All my metrics, all that information fed into an app. And that app was controlled by my coach. And my coach would call me every day either to celebrate the win or get on me for not doing what I said I would do. Every day I would get these text messages of accountability. And guys, it led to these results. Me and my wife both did this. And we created a focus around our health. And if you know us, we cook in our room. We have food delivered to our hotel. I fly 5 times a week on average. You have no excuse to eat and live right. You can do that. We can do this together, guys. We can put our health as a priority. Next is business. Business is a part of those categories. You better do business right. If you're not healthy at business, you're not going to be healthy at home, and vice versa. Business has to be healthy. That's why I wrote the RISE Business Framework. It's what we use here with Ryan. Resources, inspiration, systems, engagement. How do you rise in business? What are resources? Time, money, people. Where do you spend your time? How much money are you going to make? How much money are you going to spend? What people do you need to help you get there? Next, you have to inspire the resources with inspiration. Long-term vision, short-term vision, culture, leadership. Our next speaker is going to talk to you about leadership. I need you to listen there, guys. I need you to listen to what he's going to talk about because that's a pivotal part of leading your company. I always tell people, the companies I help scale, I will show you an example of a pure good leader when they scale. Because great leaders are students of leadership. They're always learning. Next, we have to have the right systems to let go without losing control. What does that look like? Process, procedures, policies, metrics. Just like health, we have to have it in business. And then good meeting structures to support our communication. And then last, we have to have engagement with our customers, our brand, our marketing, our advertising, our sales. And if we can do those things right, we can find success in business. I always tell people, I only need these 4 and no more. If I have these 4, I can scale. I can get the businesses to their purpose. And now, after 9 years of being an entrepreneur full-time, leaving corporate America, I've built many successful businesses. Many I've sold. These are what I have today. And I don't want to leave here today, guys, without you knowing what pieces of your business need to be worked on. And I have a QR code here I would like for everybody to scan. This is free, and I want you to get a copy of our business assessment that'll tell you what pieces you're doing well and what pieces you need to work better on. How do we create harmony? Guys, I don't believe in balance. Balance isn't a thing, but harmony is real. You can create harmony. You got to get all these pieces harmonizing together in your business and in life. Next, communication, quality time, support and empathy, boundaries and respects is what we have to have in order to have right relationships. We have to protect the relationships in our life. If we're going to fulfill our purpose, you don't want to get to the end and nobody's there to write your speech with you. Boy, I've been to funerals and they're sad. 5 people in the room. I even heard a guy one time says, anybody know the gentleman that's up here? Does anybody want to come up here and speak? What a sad moment. The gentleman didn't protect the relationships he had. We protect them with communication, quality time, support, empathy, and boundaries. Guys, when my kids were little, my wife and I read this book by Patrick Lencioni called The 3 Big Questions for a Frantic Family. Me and Ryan had a chance to fly out to Oakland 3 or 4 weeks ago, and we played golf together, and we met Patrick. Go watch his podcast, Ryan's podcast, on this great feedback from Patrick on how to live life in business. But this is something I adopted, and we created a vision plan for our family. Every week, we would take time, and we would review that plan. We had the Harper family meeting. We looked at to-dos, what needed to get done, what did we protect? Did we protect our health, our family, our time? What were we doing to protect those things as a family? Next, quality time. Guys, quality time is so important. And in order to have quality time, you must know the people in your life. You must know who they are. And in knowing them, you must know their love language. You need to know what they love and how they want to be loved. You want to know their behavioral traits and why they do what they do with assessments like predictive index or DISC or COBE. You want to know what fear they might have. DoItScared.com is a great website that'll help you determine your fears and the fears of the people in your life. And then last, what drives them? What drives the people, not only in business, but your wife, your husband, your kids? What drives them? What gets them up every day? Mine is impact. On Find Your Mojo, it tells me my number one driver is impacting people. My wife's is learning. What is yours? Do you know what wakes you up every day? You know what drives you? And by getting these things done and doing them right, guys, we produce good quality time with the people we love. We produce the time that they want to have. But then we have to support them. We have to show empathy. We have to bring some emotional intelligence. If you're doing these things right, it leaves some time to show up, to be there for them. Whether it's Veterans Day or my son's big game or my daughter graduating from high school or from nursing school or their weddings and being there on their wedding days with my parents at a football game or my grandson when he was born. I didn't miss those moments. Not after God gave me my life back. I wanted to soak up every one of these moments. And the way I do that, guys, is by protecting the boundaries and respecting those boundaries in my life. We have to have those boundaries and we have to respect them. What does that look like? Guys, limit your work to your office. Limit it. Entrepreneurs are not tied down to typical 9-to-5 work. We have the luxury and the freedom to live life as we please. So it's your choice. Try not to bring work home with you. And listen, I know this can be hard if we work from home. You're like, but I work from home. So do I. What do? I created a designated place in my house that I go to work, and I have work hours. That way my wife knows if I'm there, my kids, my family know if I'm there, I'm in what? Work mode. Then, I created a designated time that I start and I stop. And when that designated time arrives, I stop. And I save my progress and I pick it up the next day. Guys, your business deserves your energy and time. It does. But so does your family. Let's save a little love for them. Because at the end of the day, that's why we're doing it, right? Don't get busy, so busy in life, trying to fulfill your purpose that you never do. People can get so busy trying to be successful that they never fulfill their purpose. Last is financial literacy. Guys, I love what I do, but I need to make money. I need to be able to take care of my family. And so I dived into creating a budget. You have to have a budget in business. You have to have a budget in your life that helps with your income and the categories of life that you're going to spend your money in. I created this spreadsheet for each one of my kids. I created it in 1997 for me, and I've used it every year. It's not sexy. It's nothing great. It's just a basic budget. How many of you guys in this room say, I got a budget? I live my life by that budget. If your hand's not up, look to each other. You say, well, I make more than enough. I don't need a budget. You do, because God's giving you something, and you're supposed to be a good steward of it. Next, you got to create a plan, a wealth plan. Hey, guys, when you make money, you better have somebody in your corner that's helping you keep it. I use and love these guys right here, Taylor Tax Strategies. Man, they're a client of mine. I love them. Why? Because they help me keep money. They help our clients keep the money that they work so hard to make. I asked them to put a QR code up there for you in case you're interested. Guys, once we have that money, we want to invest it, right? That's why you're here. You're learning. How do we get more? How do we make our money make us more money and get our time back? And when I did that, I made the money and I started investing in real estate. I bought and sold over 300 houses a year out of Northwest Indiana in 5 states until 2016. These are my Hummers there. Me and my brother-in-law did this together. Did over 1,200 real estate transactions together. And then I retired. And I wanted to take that money and give it back. I wanted to help people with this time. I wanted my time to be able to help you. I wanted my money to be able to invest. I always tell people I want to give up my life, labor, influence, finances, and experience. I want to give my life to helping other people. Part of that is giving back my finances. So I've given to things like youth programs and basketball programs and other things like that at our Christian school. I've helped build churches for missionaries in third world countries. Why? Because I created a focus on these pieces in my life. And then last, guys, personal growth. You have no right to lead other people in case you lead yourself first. And if you do all these other things right and you don't keep you healthy, we're going to have a problem. And so how do we focus on us? First, we have to have faith. If you weren't here this morning, you missed something amazing. How many guys were in the room this morning? That was amazing. Why? We have to have a focus on faith, guys. We need to schedule time for God. As much as we schedule time for everything else, we have to make him a priority. God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help in trouble. God helps us have a merry heart, which doeth good like a medicine. But when I don't schedule time for him, guys, my spirit becomes broken. From that, we, as individuals, have to have faith. And when we don't have faith, we tend to think about all that could go wrong. And we have to replace that mindset and start asking the question, is what I'm thinking true? See, we don't want to focus on what could go wrong. We want to have faith that God's going to help and protect us. That's what we want. What happens when we focus on what could go wrong? Fear is what happens. Fear will stop you in your tracks. It will paralyze you. It will even stop you from moving forward. I always say fear will either cause you to do something or not do something. What are you choosing not to do today because you're fearful? What are you choosing not to do today because you don't have faith? Because, guys, we have to replace fear with knowledge and sustain it with faith. That's where it comes from. It comes from faith. Next is community. Guys, if you're part of Wealthy, it's a great community. But there's a community within the community, and that's called Wealthy Kingdom. Ryan has formed this community so you guys can take this community and take it back to your communities and have prayer groups. Why? To keep faith alive. It's so important that we have the right community. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. What's your community look like? Next is learning. Guys, I love to learn. My wife loves to learn. We read about 3 new books a week. The next person coming up is one of our favorite authors. You'll love him. He's got a great book, number 4 of all time. It's great. I want you to hear it. I want you to read it. I have some books as well. I have 5 books that you can get. One just become a bestseller on Amazon. The Rise Business Framework. We've sold almost 1,000 copies. We're speaking at MIT University next month. We've been on the news in Tampa. We were in Times Square on the NASDAQ a couple weeks ago. The world is loving this business framework. And I want you guys to have a copy of it. So I'm giving you a QR code here. You go to the Rise Business Books or scan that code and you can get a copy of this book and start working on the pieces in your business that are going to help form your picture. Absolutely. Last is self-reflection. Guys, we have to take time to look back at us. Look back at our successes. We have to take time to celebrate those successes. We have to take time and look at the areas that we're not doing right. We have to make sure we prioritize those pieces. This is called the Rise Life Assessment. If you scan this QR code, and if you didn't scan anything up till now, guys, this is the one that can make the difference. I want you to scan this code. Here's why. It's going to tell you your areas of success, and then it's going to tell you your areas of failure. And I don't want you to get to the end of life and not get your puzzle pieces in the right places. Because when we leave our pieces of life on scattered, it leaves our life in pieces. And it leaves our purpose on the outside. But guys, if we can get those pieces together, if we can get them all working in harmony together, we can fulfill life's purpose. I'm going to play a video for you, and I'm going to ask you a question at the end of the video. I want you prepared to answer it. Here's the video. Listen intently. The price of quitting is far greater than the price you'll pay to succeed. And the price to succeed is a lot. Maybe you failed. I know it hurts. But rise up.
Start seeing yourself getting back up and having faith to master what only you were created to do. Faith isn't about being perfect. Faith is about the ability to keep going. Maybe you're thinking, well, Gary, you don't know how much I'm bleeding right now. You don't know how bad it's been. When I was at my weakest with Lyme disease and could barely walk, couldn't be alone, and couldn't work, only a handful of people stayed beside me. Everyone else walked away and abandoned me. You know what loneliness feels like. You know what failure feels like. Now I'm asking you to see things differently. Overcome today's challenges for the success of tomorrow. And then never give up. Don't pay the price of quitting. You can't afford it. Knowledge overcomes fears. Stop wishing you were stronger or better or more secure. I can help you get the knowledge so that today you can rise up and do something. Have the faith to believe that the trials of your life can make you sharper.
How many of you guys will join me and rise up to fulfill your purpose? Stand up with me here, guys. Stand up. I want you to stand up, and I want you to look to your left. I want you to look to your right, and I want you to say to the person to your left and right, I'm willing to rise. Thank you guys for your time.